All right, so welcome to Fire Up Connect. This is it's a networking group that we basically just talk to each other and get to know each other and see if we can work on everyone else's projects. So the way we usually get started is we do somewhat of an icebreaker session. So everybody will get a turn to ask somebody else like a personal or icebreaker question about them. And then when we're done with that, we'll move on to the next section. So I guess I'll go first. Well, Scott, since you're a Floridian, are you into Florida man stuff? What kind of hobbies are you into?
That's a good question. I am into Florida man stuff. I love the Florida man idea. I love just being borderline abrasive, borderline just carefree, allowing yourself to be free and to try new things and to get your hands dirty. Um, it's to me a lot of what the American spirit is. It's about being able to forge new frontiers and to be bold and to be brave and to not let the status quo kind of dictate how you live your life. But you can look a little stupid and look a little weird, but be yourself, and that's okay. And so with that, I like being outside. I like going boating. I like fishing. I never really got into hunting too much, but playing sports, football, basketball, those are big Florida sports. And as far as Florida man goes, like getting out there in the wild and exploring nature and just, being a little different. I like to take pride in that for sure.
Cool. All right, so it's your turn to ask somebody else a question.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go with Paul. Paul looks like he's waiting for a good question. I don't know if I have a great question, but Paul, tell me about something that you've been reading on lately, or something that's really kind of got your curiosity or your kind of mental bandwidth lately that you're reading on and pretty interested in, and whether that's more nuanced or maybe more mainstream. Tell me about something that you're reading about lately that you'd like to share.
Well, regarding reading, that's one of the things that helps us keep our office or our sharp edge or sword sharpened as best as we can. So I'm a big Bible reader, and right now I'm in the book of Judges, which is not the most popular book in the world because there's a lot of killing taking place. But yeah, that's kind of what I read on a daily basis. We set a goal to complete it on an annual basis and just grow more spiritually, get to closer to God a little bit more. And so, yeah, pretty much that's our daily goal basically. It just when I get into the Word of God, not to be religious, guys, but it just helps my day get off to a good start. When everything else said and done, we're only a tiny little speck here on earth. Question is what are you doing daily? What is your purpose? What are you striving for here on earth?
I can appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, yep. Paul, it's your turn now.
So my question is for Mike. Mike, we're halfway through the year. How are you doing on your initial goals with your business?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. I came from 25 years of commercial leadership in healthcare, and the joke was you would drive for 12 months towards a specific goal, you would get it, you would celebrate, and the next day you would wake up back to zero. That is the life of a commercial leader, right? So my goals when I launched Nurse Care with 3 other partners was actually consistent with what you just said you do. And after chasing EBITDA for 25 years, I've realized that you can achieve more business, personally, spiritually, if you actually focus on the brokenness we all bring into the equation. So when we launched Nurse Care, I didn't have a specific objective, but regarding the fixing the brokenness, but I said I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to pursue purpose over profit. I wanted to reduce nurse burnout. By focusing on the people and the brokenness we all bring in, we've had 2 marriages restored. And for me, there is no number that I could have delivered by the middle of the year that would have exceeded my excitement to know that the culture that we've created has allowed healing in marriages. And the secret is, you know, and I have a great deal of faith to know that I am broken myself, but the secret is if you can fix people's brokenness, whether they're A players or B players, their performance explodes because that brokenness holds them back. So these 2 people that were consumed with marital strife, and they're now living in a happiness and in a success that they haven't experienced for years. And it just so happens that it benefits Nurse Care. But yeah, definitely 2 marriages restored is the greatest accomplishment, and I'm grateful that I've been able to play some role in that.
Wow.
Okay. I'm not going to call him R. Kelly because I know that that's got a different connotation. So RJ Kelly, for both of you, what have been the biggest challenges each of you have faced this year that you didn't think you would be able to overcome quickly, but you overcame? And once again, surprised yourself that you are undefeated with life's challenges.
Want me to take that one, or you want to?
You can go first, yeah.
Okay, so, well, great. Again, we're delighted to be here with you all. And let me just run through a couple of quick world filters because this will also unpack that question, Mike. So first of all, I'm a follower of Jesus. So that's my first world filter, both my wife and I. And that picture in the background you see is Cambodian. My wife's a survivor of the killing fields of Cambodia, lived through the prison camps for 3.5 years. Extraordinary human being. So I'm married to one of my life's heroes. And I also had the privilege of getting to share Christ with my wife, and she's a follower of Jesus too. So and she's also our COO. Her office is right next door. So, and she keeps a track on us. Second world filter is I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm the son of an entrepreneur. My dad died when I was 18. He had built a multi-million-dollar company that was in bankruptcy within 10 years after his death. And so I got to see what happens when the visionary goes away. And as the business grows and grows, if you haven't built a solid foundation and continue to raise your management team, you know, you're going to lose it. And so big part of what we do in our consulting practice is how do we help business owners, especially address the issues in terms of their estate planning, their wills, their trusts, their taxes, their insurance, their investments, and their philanthropy and their legacy. So my third world filter is to, when I die, by that point, my life goal is to get to 147. So that's my third world filter. I want to see a new century come in. So, you know, we're just barely getting started. And then the fourth world filter is to facilitate $1 billion for philanthropy. And we crossed 100 million in August of 2012. We're well on our way to our second 100 million. And again, a lot of that just comes from the tax work and the mitigation stuff that we do in our practice. So as far as accomplishing things, my goal was, we've had 6 record years in a row. And so how do you continue to have that kind of growth and also not go crazy? And so, although given the fact that, as Mike, as you said it, you know, we're all whacked. You know, every one of us is whacked. Some days I'm more whacked than others, but we're all whacked. That's why we need Jesus. But So the fact is, how do we continue to have that kind of growth and continue to provide this service to our clients? It's penultimate to us. And this year we're 30% ahead of last year, which was again another record year for us. So my biggest challenge has been, how do I continue to give the service at the level that we give and have that kind of growth? And so fortunately for me, we were able to attract several new key players. So Dan, who I'm pointing at there, it has been working for the state of California. He has an incredible background and pedigree, even at his young age. He's a CPA. He's studying for a the CFA, the Chartered Financial Analyst, which is a super difficult professional designation to
Yeah.
get. And then I've got an in-house attorney. I mentioned my wife's my COO. I got a bunch of credentials after my name that keeps me out of mischief. And we just got more and more really high quality people. So that is that's helping me sleep better at night. And then so that's what's been for us. And then we've also added a really amazing team player out of Houston, Texas. We're in San Diego, but we've now been able to start adding people in other parts of the country who are best at what they do, but add them to our team and keep our payroll costs much more lean and mean, but end up with people who are at the top of their game. So for us, it's been, how do we continue to grow? How do we continue to take care of our clients and be responsive? And then how do we have the best subject matter experts we possibly can to expand our team? And so far, by God's grace, we're getting it done.
Hey, Marie, I'm in the meeting right now.
So let's see. Hey, Mary joined in late, so we'll pick on Mary. So let's see. What are you excited about? What are you having fun with? What are you looking forward to? Make it nice and easy for you.
We'll talk soon.
Thank you, everyone. I just looked at the time and was able to get on. Let's see what I'm excited about. Well, there's one transaction that we went past the letter of intent, and it's just a matter now. We've got the C-level people all involved. They're all a go, but now it has to go to the board. Once it goes through the board, I think it's a matter of the TIs, which are tenant improvements, that are probably around closer to 40 million. Acquisition, I think a total of 100 million. So that's progressing. It's taken a while. These kind of transactions for me take about a year or two. And then 3 other potential acquisitions pending. So, you know, that are within the 100+ range or so or more. That's kind of what I've been working on.
Yeah. And are those coming out of a 1031 exchange environment, or are these brand new acquisitions where you don't have a basis you're having to worry about?
No basis. No, it's just I generally work with off market like opportunities and just put things together strategically in regards to funding, acquisitions, or joint venture.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, it's your turn now, Mary.
Well, I'm on my phone, so I can't really see. Well, let me move this around. I'm not sure who else already spoke. Forgive me.
So I haven't gone, Eddie hasn't gone, Sikia hasn't gone, and James hasn't gone.
Okay, I is who?
John.
Okay. Oh, okay. John. So
I'm on Mary's account.
why is, oh, okay. Oh, you're on Marie's account.
And Marie asked me to run the meeting today, so.
Okay, well, John, I already have heard you before. I think you're the plant guy.
That's one thing I do, yeah.
One of the things, yes. Okay, so who else? I see Paul has spoken, the other gentleman who's chose me. Eddie, you said, and Scott already have spoken?
No, Eddie and Sikia and James haven't gone.
Eddie, and Sikia. Okay, just because I can't see Sikia. I don't know. I think I might have heard Sikia before, but maybe not Eddie. Let's do Sikia.
So ask her a question.
It seems like, and I just got on, so it seems like I'm gonna fall in line with the previous person. And what I was asked is, what are you excited about this year? What are your projection within the next 2 years and let's say 10 years?
You're muted.
Sorry about that. So my name is pronounced Sikia, but I go by Kia, so you can all call me Kia because that's just easier. And I am excited about growth, the growth that I'm seeing within my company. I have an office in San Diego and an office in New York, and my agents are growing. I'm getting calls on a regular basis for new agents to join my agency. So that's really exciting for me. Growth in the next 2 years would be to have, well, actually in the next 10 years would be to have offices in more than just San Diego and New York and other states as well. Growth for the next 2 years probably looks like just growing San Diego and New York to a number, and I don't know what that number is right now, but to a number where I'm like super excited about, and I have to hire additional help to help me maintain those two states. So I think that when I reach that number within the next 2 years, that would feel like a lot of growth for me. So that's what I'm excited about, and that's the growth that I am doing.
Thank you, Sakia, but may I ask, and I may have missed this, when you say your broker, your agents, is this a financial brokerage, a real estate brokerage?
It's a real estate brokerage.
Okay, residential, commercial, development.
Residential.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Okay, so I guess Eddie is the last person who hasn't gone, or?
Eddie and James and John.
Oh, 3 people. Okay, well, I'll go with Eddie. And a question, geez Louise. How has, and I don't know if anyone's asked this question or if it's just played out, I have no idea, but how has the pandemic affected your business, and what did you do to overcome whatever challenges it brought? And if it didn't bring any challenges, maybe talk about why it didn't.
Okay, minor challenges because I'm working on software, and working on software, I really don't go out and see too many people. But the biggest challenge is I really miss people because you couldn't even go out to Starbucks. So I have advisors and clients, and we're just meeting on Zoom all the time, which is really boring because you don't shake their hands, see, share food and all that. That's probably the interpersonal things are probably the biggest mix or the biggest downside of it. The good side of that, I had to hibernate so much that now I've got my killer software about to get out of the garage. So that's a good thing. And if the pandemic hadn't hit, I probably wouldn't have developed to where it is because it really takes a lot of focus. And you can't focus on that when you're out there having fun, being hedonist, whatever. So,
Cool.
So that's a good question.
Thank you.
So last is Marie, right?
James hasn't gone, but I'll go if you
Okay,
want.
okay. So James, tell me about your week and what's new.
So my week has been going good. I'm in Puerto Rico, so it's fun here. I go to I've been around water with my family, been eating really good food. I have leftovers for days. So that part has been great. For the business, a lot of good things have happened this week, and just started. So it's a very good productive 2 days. I'm I think I was last time I was mentioning on my struggle of the automations. I don't know if anybody was here that I was mentioning. I'm working on that right now. I have strategists with a copyrighted team that is taking care of that, putting everything in place on my CRM. So I'm super excited about that. My LinkedIn automations that I started, I think it was last week there because of the warm-ups time, like it's coming up, like now I'm sending more and more, have like a good amount, healthy amount of leads coming from LinkedIn right now. So yeah, now that's good. It makes me I was just closing a client right before here, and that's why I was a little late. Closed a client yesterday, actually two today, so that was good. Pretty good thing. And overall, like my mindset and just my attitude and everything has been a lot more like sharper and like very better in general. And I think has been because being around family, being able to work from like, this is my home where I grew up, and now I'm here. I don't even have a ticket to go back to my house in Oregon. And just, I guess, that feeling of being with family, good food. I brought my girlfriend to meet my parents and all that. So that energy kind of has helped me a lot to channel it to my business, and things are going great. I can see now where I'm going, and how it's the things that I'm doing and actually moving the needle. So yeah, there's always room for improvement, and I'm always looking to connect with more people and to grow together. But things are going great, and I'm excited for what's coming.
Awesome. All right. Well, what's your question for me?
Oh, you're so Marie, my question for you today is let me see. So I know you do like various things, and you have like a couple wins last meeting. It was pretty cool. So what's your main focus right now, and how are you managing to attach your actions to your main focus without letting other things fall and stuff like that?
So my main focus is still closing our investment round, which we're still in due diligence with 2 firms about. So it's still going well, but that has been quite a challenge for me and my partner to keep sales and marketing going while pitching to literally 100 investors this year. And finding that time has been pretty difficult. Like I have to go at 7 o'clock because I have to do an investor pitch like right after, we get done with this. So I would say fundraising has made our workload, like it's increased it by like at least 33% every week, just to respond to the investors, make the changes that they want. Doing the due diligence stuff was like 30 pages of documentation. So yeah, so I've been busy with that. So anyway, let's do the next part of the meeting. So usually there is a speaker that talks about their business for like 7 to 10 minutes. But since Marie's not here, let's just do this instead. How about everybody does a 1-minute pitch of their company, explaining what they do, what problem they solve, what their clientele is, and then spend another 30 seconds talking about a pressing problem in your business. And then everybody will get like 1 minute of Q&A from the group to see if they can help solve the problem. So I'll go first. My name is John. My company is called Virtual Badge. We're a software as a service company. We provide identity services. So think of it as like ID badges on your phone. We can be as little as an ID badge on your phone, but we can be a whole lot more than that. Like we do compliance and risk management services for construction companies, for service vendor type companies, and for event management as well. So we sell ID cards. In terms of a problem that our business has. I think that the biggest problem that our company has had since we started it is awareness marketing, because most people are still entrenched in the idea of an ID card being a piece of plastic, and they can't get away from the fact that putting that on your phone gives you a whole lot more control, risk mitigation, and compliance abilities from like a managerial perspective. And so getting those people to understand that an alternative exists to an ID card that you swipe has been a very difficult process for us. So that's what our problem is.
I got something to give, my minute of advice would be, so are you, I guess I'll ask you a question first. Like, are you doing anything like educational videos, putting out on your platforms and stuff, or not? It's not something that you're doing yet.
Yeah, we've got a YouTube channel that's got probably like 30 videos that honestly probably aren't that good. And we've got a blog that we've continued to add to, and we've started to get like guest bloggers to add to that. But with us trying to close our round of investment, we don't really have much of a marketing or advertising budget right now. So I do think we're like artificially limited by that.
Yeah. That's something that, can limit you, but like something that I can, from my expertise, that I can offer something very like a press release, or maybe even better, I would say, is it will be like a mid-tier article that's very inexpensive, can be done. Even like, actually, I can even tell you, like, you can even create an account on, I would suggest either, or both, Thrive Global and Disrupt Magazine. And Thrive Global ranks very well. And you can put, instead of putting blog post, you can put it on Thrive Global and leverage their SEO by putting that, like, as you creating you're the contributor, and you put it there. It's free. It's a free account. Ranks super well in Google. So that's that will be my take. And if you want like somebody else to write it for you, then you can let me know, and I can make it really inexpensive too. And yeah, like, I think that's my 2 cents.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna put a link to my calendar. I would like to schedule a call with you after this. All right. I think I'm good on that. So let's go with RJ Kelly.
Hey. So start the meter going here. So basically, our clients are privately held business owners, pre-liquidity, so they haven't sold, or they are successful professionals or successful executives. So we take those vague intentions, about the vague intentions about their investments, about their insurance, their business, their philanthropy, their legacy, take those vague intentions and put it down into something very specific, measurable, and meaningful. But we've got 6 different brands that is incorporated in Wealth Legacy Group and Wealth Legacy family of companies. So primarily, though, 2/3 of our revenue comes from our assets under management. And it's been a great year, obviously, but we use a very low cost platform using very specialized funds within Vanguard, but you can't get this through Vanguard. And so if you were with one of our clients, you would have seen over a 40% return over the last 12 months, net of all fees. We obviously don't promise that going forward, but it's particularly the next 12 to probably 18 months. It's going to be a really good time to be in equities along with diversification in real estate. So anyway, that's our basically big picture stuff, what we do. Our greatest challenge also is we help a lot of real estate agents, both commercial and residential, for some of the tax issues that are coming down the pike from Biden. And, no offense, it's not meant to be political. It's just that there's a whole bunch of tax issues that are going to be put on all of us. And so for those of you who are in the real estate business, if you're looking for an alternative to a 1031 exchange and you're concerned about that going away, and it will be going away, there are about 6 to 7 alternatives that you can use that will effectively work as well or better than 1031. So if you're interested, we can chat about that. Our biggest challenges right now, again, is just simply amount of time, limited amount of time for the opportunities that are around us, because there's a lot of people scared to death about the tax changes that are happening and what can they do about them, both in their business as well as personally. So I'll leave it with that.
Well, it sounds like your problem is a good problem to have.
We're grateful. I mean, again, I've been in practice for a lot of years. And so just, it's a lot of these things that we've collected along the way, and we've got a phenomenal team.
I
Absolutely.
have a question.
Yes. Mary.
Yes, thank you. So your top 3 fears that you're experiencing from your clients or due to the tax situation that's
Sure.
upon us. Mhm.
Yeah, for me, I got no fears because I know where I'm going. So for me, there's no fear,
No,
not
I
an issue.
mean,
But
sure,
for
you're
clients, what
welcome
we're
to
finding,
clients, yes.
yeah, for clients, what we're finding is, number one, the fact that they're going to be now probably paying a much higher tax than they've ever paid, maybe in their life. California, we have a gross tax. I mean, it's typically 13% for clients, 13.3%, plus you add the federal. And because under the new tax bill, probably for those at 400,000 of income or greater, or if they're having a liquidity event, that automatically throws them in a higher bracket, they're going to be looking at 52 to 56% taxes. So the good news for them is that we're able to show them ways that they in fact can either minimize, defer for up to 30 years, or completely eliminate the tax on capital gains transactions, for one thing. And then again, for those that are in high income positions, what can they do to at least ameliorate or spread their taxes so they're not getting clobbered over this next tax bill? I don't know, Mary, if that is helpful for what you were asking about, but those are the issues that we see clients most concerned about, is just how much additional taxes they're going to be paying. And on top of that, a lot of them don't even realize just how bad it's going to be. For example, one of the things that Biden has proposed is that will be a lid of $1 million per person. So for with families, they won't be able to give away more than $1 million during their lifetime. So that's one of the reasons right now why we're so extraordinarily busy by setting up, moving assets across the line. And again, Mike, no offense against Delaware, but primarily it's Nevada, where we're able to move upwards of about $30 million and get it across the line, pay no gift tax. And therefore that's out of the tax system going forward for 365 years. Now, again, that's not all of our clients are in that place that they can move 30 million bucks out. The other thing is we've got banks that are willing to, they're looking for places that they can make loans that are safe. So we've got banks that are willing to loan, it has to be at least 100,000 a year, but again, it's typically 400, 500,000 a year for 5 or 6 years to individuals. Particularly those with the states of 5 million or more, better it's 10 million, but 5 million and up. And so these banks will loan money. We put them into very special hybrid type of investment products that are protected against creditors, grow with no tax. And when the money comes out without tax. And we repay the banks out of that money that's in the contract. So for individuals that can make better returns than 2 or 3% on their own, this is a terrific way of being able to basically leverage their assets. This is a great time to use bank financing for a variety of different things, including paying taxes, by the way.
One more question, if I may.
Yeah, let's just keep it brief because we got to get everyone to go before 7.
Okay. You must have a portfolio of clients. What are your like large clients that we would recognize as if we were to look at your portfolio?
Sure, I can't tell you because confidentiality is #1 in our business. So I'm sorry, but
So we would be able to just look at maybe revenue or some form of financials to get an impression of your guys' work.
yeah, so Mary, we don't work. I mean, most of my clients own businesses, but they're not publicly traded. I mean, we've got one right now. I've got a CEO of a publicly traded company in Australia. We've got another case with a client that is in fact going to be the 11th largest real estate company in REIT in the country ever. So for those, if you're interested, send me an email and I can send you a list of clients that have approved their names to be distributed. But,
Okay, thank you. What's your website?
so it's wealthlegacygroup.com. Well,
Thank you so
Everybody
much.
should just put their contact details into the chat so that we can add each other.
great.
Thank you.
All right, let's go with Kia.
Okay, I took myself off mute that time. Like I said earlier, I own a real estate brokerage with offices in New York and California. Oh, you asked about what we do and challenges. Wait, no, is that what?
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that-
What you do and what's your biggest challenge right now?
Okay, so that's what I do. Well, I help real estate agents to be successful, right? Because real estate is not an easy business. And so I want my agents to be successful. So I do that by providing them with leads and giving them the support that they need to be successful. So those are the two biggest things that I do as a broker to make sure that my agents are actually successful agents. Challenges, I feel like, okay, if typically I would say a challenge is listings, getting, more listings, but I think that that's a challenge, unfortunately, that will fix itself over the next few months because of, the pandemic. But I guess I am looking for a good marketing company. People reach out a lot about marketing and all the things that they can do. And I've given a couple people a try and didn't really work out the way that they had said it would. So I think if I had a challenge, it would be finding a really good marketing company that could, obviously at a reasonable cost, that could really help us have that awareness, bring awareness to our company. So that would be my challenge, I think.
You'll have to talk to Marie about that.
I
You should
have
just
talked to
email her.
Marie.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can help with that. So if I can get your contact information, we can have a call. Definitely, I have a partner that she's a rock star on real estate providing, so specifically niche down to real estate. So we can talk about that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Cool. All right. Paul.
All right. My name is Paul, and my wife and I, Lisa, we own Sofa Spectrum Furniture and Massage Chairs in the beautiful city of Murrieta, California, a hop and a skip from San Diego and Los Angeles. We are custom sofa specialists. So we make, I don't know if you guys can see, but we do carry a variety of sofas and leather. And we've incorporated these beautiful massage chairs. Very stressful world out there. And we're grateful that we've been able to incorporate these massage chairs because they're a wellness type of thing and you can use it 24/7. Even if there is a pandemic, we can ship it anywhere to the US into the privacy of your own home. And when you're not feeling that great, you can get in your chair and take a lot of load off your body because it's a full body from the bottom of your feet all the way to the top of your neck. It releases tension. It's just an amazing. I have several manufacturers that I deal with, and that's where we're about. Our struggles have been the shipping, the freight clog at the ports where materials aren't coming in quick enough, especially if we're making a very large sectional. The foam supply is very limited right now. So we've been able to diversify with other manufacturers to be able to get something that might be in stock and kind of tailor not so much the custom, but kind of even it out with pre-made product out there that might be available for our consumer and our customers. And it's been a struggle. I get a lot of customers from the big box stores that come in saying, hey, my furniture is not going to be in for another 4 to 6 months, which is unheard of. so I can turn around with my local vendors and be able to navigate for them and serve them as best as I can. And the thing that we focus on as well is if I can't serve them, I'm going to send them somewhere where they can be served. And that's kind of our motto, is that, you know, we're here to make friends. And if they ever need something, we're here to serve them. So that's what we're about. We're Sofa Spectrum Furniture in the city of Murrieta. If you guys ever need anything, give me a jingle. Be happy to serve you.
Sounds good. Anybody have a comment or a question?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes, hi, Scott. I would say, yes, I can confirm the frustration of the supply chain when it's come to furniture. My sofa, I had to get, for this property that I bought recently during the pandemic, the first lockdown, with a small space, it's really important to have nice furniture, I think, because the pieces stand out more. So my custom sofa from Italy and the custom lounge for the balcony from Spain took about 7 months. And so that was quite frustrating because I couldn't really do much with that property for a while because the furniture wasn't in. But I was wondering the quality of furniture. I generally look at Italian. Spain I tried for the first time, but the quality of your furniture, is it custom made in the US or the materials? I mean, I just don't, I wouldn't
Custom
know.
made. Thank you for asking the question. We have 3 factories that work with us in the city of Los Angeles. And so they're all made here in the United States. The leather manufacturer, sometimes that you think of is Italian leather. The leather themselves sometimes come from Italy, and then they're manufactured here in the United States. Those are taking about 9 months right now to make for our clients. So when the customer comes in, I have to quote them 9 months. There are manufacturers or vendors like Natuzzi and Leather Italia that I can get for the client, but those do take a long time because they are an import, and those are going to be a while to get to the United States. So when it comes to custom, most of our custom lineup is going to be upholstery. Customer comes in, they give me their measurements, or we measure out their space, and then we can make a sofa, a love seat, a chair and a half, sectional, as long or as small as the space is needed. But that's a good question. Thank you for asking that.
Cool. All right. Need to move on again. Let's go with Scott.
What's going on, everybody? So my business is solar. We do marketing and sales. We're a brokerage company. So like if you went to me, what we would do, well, part of my job is to get you to come to me. So that's the marketing piece, whether that's a Facebook ad, Google ad, cold calling, door knocking, referral, whatever that approach is, building out those funnels and creating those partnerships. And then the next part would be, once you found us, meeting with you and consulting with you and reviewing what your options are. And then from there, that's the sales piece. From there, we're sending you off to our different partners that we're brokering with for installation and construction and engineering. So my company doesn't do the installations, but we partner with about 40 different companies across the United States. So we're in I live in Walnut Creek, California, but we work all over the United States to tackle those installations and engineering. So that's what my company does. Our challenges are, man, we got a long list of challenges. There's always more work to be done. You know, like one of the other people said, finding great marketing teams and finding great funnels that we can connect to that are good advertisements, getting good quality leads, getting a good volume of leads, getting quality appointments set, making sure that we show up to those appointments and that we have good closers in those meetings, closing those meetings and educating customers and getting them the right option. And then, other challenges are when we pass that ball off to our installation teams, are they taking care of our customers, and are they doing everything they need to make sure that the guy that we sent off happy and smiling, is he going to be happy and smiling all the way to the end when the panels are on his house and those kinds of things. So that's a quick overview on our business and our challenges.
That's cool. That's interesting. I want to ask you if you could set up a call with me as well, because I think that I'm not going to try to say I think I could help you out, but I want to learn a little bit more about your processes for how you handle your contractors and see if we could help you.
Sure. That'd be great. Yeah. I just sent in my name, number, and email there. Feel free to reach out.
Cool. All right. Anybody else got a question? Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Mike.
Thank you. So I shared a little bit of my background at the beginning, but I started with 3 partners after a 25-year career in healthcare, specifically on the commercial side, where I drove $1 billion of net new revenue over my career, really big teams, some small teams. I love the challenge of selling and marketing, and just, anyway, it's a disease, I think. So I've indicated, or I've shared with some people that there's not a problem that I can actually avoid jumping into. If you ever need any support on commercial and just want to talk to an addict about it, give me a call. So I've turned that commercial experience into a healthcare IT startup. And if you are familiar with healthcare, there's a huge digital transformation occurring. And ultimately, it is, I believe, the first opportunity where we're going to get rid of clunky legacy technology that only serve to harm provider productivity, nurses, etc. And we are replacing those clunky technologies with nimble, affordable technology. And our mission is to just eliminate burnout. 83% of hospitals admit that burnout impacts their health system. Physician nurse burnout actually doubles the risk of an adverse event, which means amputating the wrong leg or giving them the wrong medication. So burnout has real impact. The biggest challenges we have right now is with one FTE, one sales FTE, we've gone from pilot to 200 facilities leveraging our platform in less than 12 months. We've got 0 debt. We've bootstrapped ourselves 100%, and we're growing, but right now it's time to bite the bullet and hire salespeople. So I've developed the projections and everything, but basically it's getting introductions to hospitals is the biggest need we have. I've got a Rolodex for anybody under 30. A Rolodex is this thing that we used to use where we put cards and names. I mean, it is such a blessing to be a part of a company that is actually achieving the objectives that we set out to achieve. We haven't taken debt, and we won't take debt from VC, for example. And John, I think, is doing investor presentations suck. Every investor gives you the opposite advice of the other one to improve your pitch, and you just spend so much time chasing the dragon, if you will, right? So I'll pray for you. What we did was we said we are willing to dilute equity, but we're not willing to dilute vision equity, which has really narrowed the playing field. Because I didn't give away the chains of the big private equity focus just to give it to a VC. So anyway, we're impacting care, we're improving marriages, we're reducing burnout for nurses that are getting destroyed by this pandemic, And we're doing it with very affordable solutions that improve care.
Awesome. I think I might be able to introduce you to some people who could introduce you to hospital contacts. I don't
Yeah.
think that my contacts in the healthcare industry could be your direct set. Like you can't sell to them directly, but like I know like Abbott Laboratories is one of our clients, and I know the national credentialing manager, so I could introduce you to him, and maybe he could introduce you to some people at hospitals. And I also know some people on the staff of Simpler, if you've heard of that
Yeah.
company. It's SYMPLR, and
Yeah.
they're in like every hospital. It's vendor credentialing, so more related to my business, but I can give you the intro if you'd like.
Yeah, I love that. And I was in the credentialing side for lots of reasons. I worked with SureScripts for e-prescribing, which had a big credentialing requirement come out. We're also in post-acute, by the way. So the hospitals, we actually give our digital platform for free. So for commercial advice, hospitals take 12 to 18 months to sign a deal. So if you want to impact care quickly, you don't sell something to the hospital, but you get them to exclusively leverage it. And our software actually intersects with the transition of care from acute to post-acute, which the silver tsunami, the boomers, is increasing the transition to post-acute astronomically. So we install it in the acute. The post-acute has to use us. We sell listings to the post-acute. So we also help post-acute with the digital front door and things like that that James might be aware of. Digital front door is just meeting patients in the new digital reality required or enabled by the pandemic, right? So John, I would love it. Everybody knows healthcare. Everybody's a healthcare expert. And everyone on this call has a loved one that has had a terrible experience with care. Everyone in our society deserves respect, integrity, and a care that helps both the community, the family, or all of them, and the patient get better. So any connections are welcomed.
Mike, does your software replace software that's already in hospitals, but yours is faster, cheaper, smarter? Or is this a software that they're not even using and they find, wow, we really need this?
Yeah, great question. So the big EHRs, some of you may have heard like Epic is the big dominant player. We have cycles in healthcare like every other industry. Every 10 years, there's a new baby doll. So the EHRs are becoming obsolete, but it's probably going to be a 5-year cycle because they're so entrenched. But we actually, and this is disgusting for me, I've been in it for 25 years, we're replacing paper. Hospitals are continuing to fax thousands of pages of paper every day over 14 4-baud modems. It's ridiculous. So there's an area of healthcare where the EHRs stop and the medical devices stop, Abbott, and it's all paper. So we're replacing that paper and connecting hospitals and post-acute providers for the very first time digitally. So yes and no.
Mike,
Yes.
yes. So you mentioned paperwork. Wouldn't there be privacy concerns regarding paperwork for data information that could be, I don't know, sensitive, you would say? I know just because on the one acquisition, I work with like 5 friends and all are independent from each other. And the range of our acquisitions, I'll just say the one currently is a minimum of 10 million and we have no cap. One of the acquisitions is a medical not the business, but their real estate. So,
Yeah.
some medical buildings, and then we become the landlord. So I just know that you mentioned about paperwork. So securing the data if you're going to eliminate paperwork or help eliminate some paperwork.
Yeah, and by the way, skilled nursing facilities are often real estate companies that just happen to own skilled nursing facilities. So there's a great overlap there. But you're referring to the Health and Information Portability Act, HIPAA, that regulates sensitive patient health information. And yeah, you've got to provide secure communications when there is patient identifiable data involved. We accommodate all of the HIPAA requirements that we interact with, but that's a great question. And we're digitizing paperwork to avoid the situation where hospitals fax a discharge and literally wait for someone to pick up the paperwork to say, I'll take the patient. We're getting rid of that very inefficient workflow that actually causes patient anxiety and at times adverse events.
Unfortunately, I have to go, and I think because I'm the host of the meeting, I don't know if I can transfer that on, but I invite all of you to join next week where Marie will actually be on, and she's a much more effective group leader than I am, so
This was
I
great.
I
Thank you.
encourage you guys to
Yeah,
come
no,
back.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. I do have one more question if you have a minute with Mike.
Yeah, I'm here.
What hospital is currently using your software?
I didn't hear